Okay, welcome back to another Jund League on Magic the Gathering Online. I'm Nick B MTG, a content creator from the UK. I'm currently testing for whatever super qualifier there is for Modern in a couple of weeks. Narrowed it down to 3 sort of decks I think I want to play. One of which is Jund. The others are Rock, which I played the other day, and 4-Color Shadow, which is one of my other kind of favourite decks. So I'll be testing those out the next couple of weeks. Might run the others through some leagues on video as well. So this is the Jund list I'm going to be trying for today. Not sure there's any changes in the main to my last video. Got the Season Pyromancers. Crocs are proving really good. The big change is I've kind of focused the sideboard in what I think people are going to be playing. So I've gone for playset of Collective Brutality, very good against Prowess and Burn, which I've been seeing a lot of online. And then we've gone for also the full playset of De-Glamour. This is just you choose a target artifact or enchantment, and it's shuffled into its owner's library. This good against the Heliod combo decks, where it's one of the only cards you've really got to deal with Heliod itself, because Heliod's indestructible. And then we've gone for a Weather the Storm as well. This is possibly overcooking it on the Burn Prowess sideboard plan, but want to try it out. Then we've gone 2 Plague Engineers, this being good against Hammer Time and quite a lot of decks running any X1 creatures. Ashiok, just standard graveyard hate, and 3 Fulminator Mages to round off the land hate. Are light on graveyard hate. I haven't been seeing much graveyard, and when I was looking through the meta, I think the only one you really want it against at the moment is Dredge, but haven't seen that too much. I think we're going to try this focused one. I'll probably end up changing this a little bit. This is possibly a bit overkill on these, but yeah, want to see how we go. So let's jump straight into a league. See how we get on. Hope everyone's doing well today. If you are enjoying my content, please do like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if there is anything you like, anything you don't like, any suggestions, always welcome. Yeah, as I say, going to be playing a few of these decks, getting ready for the tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. Probably run a league with probably do more Jund and more 4-Color Shadow. I think I'm leaning towards Jund with, like I've got now, kind of a more heavy anti-burn sideboard. But we'll see how this goes. Probably now gonna run into no burn at all and run into all Dredge and Tron, but that's the way these things go. Okay, been paired. Let's see what we're against for round 1. So this hand is very heavy on the discard. I think I'm going to keep this in the blind. Hope that we can hope the discard's good early here. Stomping Ground. Okay, so it is Burn. Find us a land, very kind of them. So we're just going to lead on Inquisition. Basic Mountain isn't Basic Swamp isn't ideal here in case we draw Renin 6, but Renin 6 is pretty low impact in this matchup. So this is a weird list. We've got 2 Become Immense and some interesting things. I think we're going to take this creature. We don't want them to get any more creatures, and this creature is a way for them to play 2 spells next turn. 'Cause they play this, attack, return the land to their hand, play it again, and lightning bolt us. So we're just going to take the creature here. Become Immense is interesting. Difficult one to, because they've got 2. It's difficult to kind of thought seize as well. What do we see on top of our library? It's a Liliana of the Vale, which we're always happy to see. They find their second mountain. So we know the cards in their hand. Trouble with Inquisitioning here is they just blow the card through the cards. But we can't really thought seize. So I think we will Inquisition. We'll make them use their burn spells. Yeah, so this misses. But I think we have to. So we could thought seize now. They are going to be able to become immense this next turn. So I think we're just going to play land and pass, and then hopefully edict this away. Okay, so opponent isn't going for the become immense. Lava darting, sacrificing a mountain. Okay. So actually here, I don't think we do Lily. I think we play a mountain and Colligan's Command. So they discard, kill the Goblin Guide. Now, worth noting that it's not worth, with them running green, it's not worth waiting, really, to do this after they attack, because if they have some sort of pump spell before damage. I mean, pretty dead here at 3. Opponent only needs to find a lightning bolt. Found a land. Okay, so I think we're going to play the Liliana here. There's an argument for Goyf. Argument for Goyf is that it's a quicker clock. We're going to get rid of the thought seize. There's no way we're thought seizing. Okay, become immense out of my opponent's hand. We'll play the Bloodstained Mire, so now we can fatal push a creature if we need to. There's a Goblin Guide, so we will push that. We'll go and fetch a basic. Basic Swamp. Let's go ahead and fatal push. So my opponent only really needs to find any burn spell here. Colligan's Command is interesting. Unfortunately, we now can't fetch with this land. Oh, I shouldn't have played it really, because we could Liliana it. So we could Colligan's Command in upkeep. But I think we need to get the Goyf down. We need to start really pressuring my opponent. Oh, yeah, I suppose we could. Yeah, I was going to say, I suppose I shouldn't have. I didn't activate my Liliana, but in actual fact doing that is fine. Yeah, we're not going to fetch here. We'll tick up. We'll get rid of Blackleaf Cliffs. Not entirely sure why my opponent didn't play the Swift Spear there. Annoyingly, if I had ticked up Lily, she'd be on 6. Possibly could have ultimated, but... Okay, so we're now going to use Colligan's Command in my opponent's draw step to deal them 2 damage and have them discard a card. This... Okay, so they're heavily on the sort of pump. Yeah, they're heavily into the kind of pump spells. So I think we have to attack with Tarmogoyf here. We don't want to see a creature from my opponent, but we're not winning the game if we don't. They're paying costs. Oh, that's really annoying. Yeah, there's nothing really we could do about that. I mean, we weren't finding a kill spell for ages, but like we have to go for it there. Maybe that Colligan's command was a little silly, thinking about it. So that's with the build that they're on, we know that we haven't seen any sorcery speed. Yeah, okay. So thinking about this, Colligan's command in upkeep was silly there. We discarded a Become Immense. Although, actually, no. Although we would have got that out of their hand with Liliana. Yeah, okay, so I think what I should have done with this Colligan's command instead is waited, kept ticking up the Liliana, kept the Colligan's command in hand for this point, and then I could have killed this now instead of just discarding a rubbish card. I don't think it was awful, you know, it could have been this in hand, but actually, given that Colligan's command can deal 2 damage, we're getting them only 1 card in hand at a time with Liliana. Yeah, I think that would have been a lot better. Because, you know, if my opponent draws an instant speed burn spell, we're dead anyway. So yeah, one to remember. I think it's not as likely to come up. You know, this list is not as common, but it's still worth thinking about. Okay, so here we're going to get rid of the Thought Seizes. This is where our sideboard comes into play. Renin 6 does nothing against this sort of deck. Maelstrom Pulse is interesting, but it's a cut I think we can make. Okay, so obviously we definitely want all of the Collective Brutalities and Weather the Storm. And then all of this is great. Got our threats. Trophy's not ideal, but I think we'll keep it. We need one more card. Could be, so considerations are Maelstrom Pulse, Plague Engineer, or Fulminator Mage. Fulminator Mage blocks and kills one of their lands if they're short. I think we'll take the Pulse on the play. You know, if my opponent goes something like turn 1 Swift Spear, turn 2 Swift Spear, it can kill both. Okay, yep, this is a good hand. So we're just going to fetch basic lands here. So Tarmogoyf, historically very good against sort of burn aggressive decks. Okay, opponent got a lot of creatures. So I think what we're going to do, given that they've got so many creatures, I think we'll take Light Up the Stage. Soul Scar is annoying, but we hopefully will be able to kill that with Colligan's command. Soul Scar is the only way they can really deal with Goyf. We do have 2 Goyfs though. Yeah, let's take Light Up the Stage. It just draws them into more cards. This is like mono red burn. Maybe they could have sort of sided out a lot of the pump spells, I suppose. Do we have to be wary of Blood Moon? Possibly. Okay. Goblin Guide very accommodatingly finds us a land. Let's play well, I mean, we're insulated against Blood Moon quite well now. Okay, let's see what my opponent does. They had a good hand. There's a Soul Scar Mage. Stomping Ground. Another Goblin Guide. So if we draw Maelstrom Pulse, okay, another land isn't really what we want. So I think what we're going to do is Just play the mountain and then Kolaghan's Command right now before they can prowess this Soulscar Mage. So have my opponent discard and we'll kill the Soulscar Mage. Can't attack just yet. You know, 2 of the 3 cards in my opponent's hand. They get rid of a Lava Dart, which makes sense. And we pass the turn. So next turn we can go for an attack. We'll have a second Goyf. Opponent playing Mishra's Bauble. Targeting themselves. Playing the Fiery Islet. And another Soulscar Mage. Target now a 5/6, which is nice. Okay, we draw Brutality, which is very nice. So I think we'll attack first. Then we're going to fully escalate this Brutality. Yeah, so let's go and just get another basic land. Now, if my opponent's drawn a burn spell, yeah, if my opponent's drawn a spell, the trouble is we can't really kill this Soulscar Mage. But given that I've only got lands in hand anyway, do I just kill the Goblin Guide? I think we're going to do 3 modes. We're going to get rid of lands anyway. Yeah, I think we've got to kill a Goblin Guide. Discard these 2 lands. Just in case there's a spell in my opponent's hand that he can save this. Okay, we would have got away with it. Dreadhorde Arcanist is interesting. But we'll play another 5/6 Goyf. Okay, so opponent's got Dreadhorde Arcanist, 1 unknown. There's the Arcanist. Kolaghan's Command is a good draw. Okay, so I think, yeah, we're just going to attack here. Kolaghan's Command will kill a Soulscar Mage if they... Oh, yeah, we have to remember the Lava Dart. They can always sacrifice Lava Dart at instant speed. They can sacrifice a mountain to play it, yeah. That was a bit of an oversight last turn, really. Okay, so we're gonna try and kill this Soulscar Mage. And then I'm gonna... Right, so my opponent has probably got something like a burn spell in hand. So now we're gonna have them discard and kill the Goblin Guide. Just because we don't want the Tarmogoyf to die. Opponent has... Oh, they've drawn a Lava Dart, sure. So now we get to kill both creatures, I think. Maybe not. No, we bounce... Okay, I think we bounce off the Soulscar Mage. But our Tarmogoyf does survive. Oh, they had another Lava Dart. Okay, that's yeah, that's not great, but we put our opponent to 5. Didn't see they had another Lava. Oh, they had one from hand. Okay, yeah, of course. So they could cast it 3 times. So my opponent. Okay, that's fairly good. They can't cast Light Up the Stage. So we need to find something to... Overgrown Tomb. Okay, well we're attacking. Put my opponent to 1. Yeah, we didn't really want to see my opponent drawing more creatures. 1... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you should be attacking with everything. Okay, so we want to find Lightning Bolt, Collective Brutality, Fatal Push, Maelstrom Pulse. Liliana doesn't quite do it. No, Inquisition also doesn't do it. We're at 9. 1, 2. Yeah, I think we're attacking. I think we have to keep attacking. They have to block with this. I'm taking... I mean, if they find a bolt, I'm dead. But I think if they find a bolt, I'm dead anyway. Really need to find some... Oh, that's really annoying, because now I just die because they bolt me. Yeah, that's really frustrating. We had lots of draws to just to kill my opponent there, because now they bolt Dreadhorde Arcanist, flashback the bolt. Yeah, that's nothing we could do there. I think, yeah, I mean we had lots of draws there that just win us the game. Yeah, so we had lots of draws there. I think we played fine. We have to keep attacking with this Tarmogoyf. They find the bolt. Yeah, and that's just game over sadly. But yeah, annoying to lose there, especially with all the anti-burn hate in my sideboard. But opponent gets there, and we will see you back here for round number 2. Right, welcome back for round number 2. We're on the draw. Got a 1-lander, which is tempting to keep. It's got a turn 1 Thoughtseize and 2 bolts that we can cast. If we're against a creature deck, this sounds very good, but I don't think I'm going to risk it. I swore to myself I'd stop keeping 1-landers with Jund. We're going to keep this though, this is much better. We'll get rid of the Bloodbraid Elf, just as the most expensive card. So with this sort of hand, we're just going to try and get rid of all our cards and then re-gas with Seasoned Pyromancer. Wooded Foothill Stomping Ground. Could this be Burn again? It's not the same opponent. And we see... It's Dredge. Just what I was saying I did not want to find. Right, we are going to Thoughtseize turn 1. Just because if my opponent has Cathartic Reunion, we'd be sad if it's only Dredges in hand. Yeah, so there's a Cathartic Reunion, so we will be taking that. And let's see what my opponent does. Running 6, nice to ping Narcomoebas, I suppose. Opponent taking a draw step. Finding a Haggle, which is a good card for my opponent to find. And they mill over 2 Dredgers. Okay, this is not ideal. Yeah, didn't want to be facing Dredge with this current list, really. I think I'm going to fetch Shock here. Yeah, it's not ideal against the kind of aggro deck, but I think we're going to ping Narcomoeba, just get it off the battlefield. We're really going to struggle with this matchup. Can't really cross. We don't really want to be casting Croxer. My opponent hitting some good stuff from the graveyard. Hitting very good stuff actually. Opponent is stuck on one land, which is the potential saving grace. We go to 10, although Bloodghast is able to just attack now. I think it's 10 or less. Yeah, 10 or less. Although they haven't got a land to bring the Bloodghast back. So we can continue killing things. The only thing they can bring back is the prized amalgam. And then... oh yeah, we can discard the Croxer to Season Pyromancer, which is nice. Opponent may have to take a draw at some point. Although, is our next turn going to be Season Pyromancer? Probably. Yeah, Season Pyromancer will get the clock going nicely, which is good. It can block the prized amalgam. Liliana's not what we want, so what we'll do is we'll ping the Narcomoeba, play a Blackleaf Cliffs, and then we'll Season Pyromancer. This will generate tokens that can block. So we'll discard Lily here. Lily not very good because you don't want them discarding cards, and we'll discard Croxer because we want to just escape Croxer really. Okay, so next turn, can't quite escape Croxer yet, although we're going to start throwing, yeah, next time we start throwing lightning bolts around essentially. Okay, so my opponent dredges. I'm a bit surprised they haven't taken a draw, because if they find a land, we're pretty dead. With 6 cards in hand, a Conflagrate in the graveyard. Right, opponent attacking me for 3. I think we're just going to block here. It gets another card in. Well, or are we now the beatdown? We could just bolt this. No, I think we're going to. We could just throw one thing in front of it and then bolt it next turn. But putting the Season Pyromancer in does get another card in the graveyard for Croxer. Yeah, I think we're just going to do that. Take the double block. Because now, yeah, Season Pyromancer goes to the graveyard. And then we can throw bolts at my opponent's face. Okay, so drawing a land there is quite nice. We could ping with Wrenn and 6 and escape Croxer this turn? I think. So we've got 5 cards in the graveyard. We don't actually have to ping with Wrenn and 6 actually. So do this. So yeah, there is a Dredger in my opponent's graveyard. But so I think what we're going to do is we will cast Croxer. It's a good blocker. We could have sacrificed Wrenn and 6 in order to keep the Season Pyromancer in. But Wrenn and 6 is good at dealing with pesky Narcomoebas and Bloodghasts. So they'll discard a big Dredger. Stinkweed Imp probably. Oh, they discard the Ox. Which I think is fine, they need another land to get that. So yeah, we're going to attack with the Elemental. So I think here, with the lightning bolts and crocs are in play, we're probably just going to be up, down with Ren and 6 to ping them. I mean, it's not the ideal use of Ren and 6, really. Is my opponent taking a draw? I'd be surprised. They do take a draw looking for a land. We could do with them missing it, really, which they do. How many? So they've got one Creeping Chill in hand and one in the bin. Raging Ravine's good. So if they hit a land, they can Bloodghast. I'm going to attack with everything. We're not bolting now. I'd imagine my opponent discards a big dredger now. Another Ox. My opponent at 12, we are just going to ping them. No point in thought seizing. So my opponent is dead next turn. They're looking for a land, I would imagine. Yeah, take a natural draw. We could do with them missing a land. If they fetch shock, they haven't found a land. Okay, so I'm just going to bolt face. And I think I'll bolt again. Yeah, we get there. I mean, my opponent got very unlucky there, not finding the land. I think they should have started taking natural draws earlier. I'm no dredge expert by any means. I've never played the deck, but I feel like if they'd have hit their second land, we would have just died there. You know, they had Bloodghast in, which would have brought back 2 prized amalgams. They could have cast the Ox. They had Conflagrate, which, given that they had so many cards in hand, would kill a lot of my stuff or just kill me. So yeah, I think we got lucky there. Unfortunately, my sideboard is not really cut out at the moment to take on Dredge. We've got a lot to take out and not much to bring in, Ashiok being the only real card. So we'll definitely bring in Plague Engineers. They can shut off Bloodghasts and Narcomoebas. I'd usually cut Fatal Push. So Collective Brutality can gain me life, kill stuff, and could potentially take a card out of their hand. Not really sold on that. Deglamour is interesting only for a potential Shriekhorn, but I don't think that's good enough. Trophy doesn't really do anything either. I think we'll bring in Fulminator Mage. It attacks and blocks, and then as we saw that turn, if you can stymie them on mana, it might be good. They're not actually casting anything, so Weather the Storm's not very good. I think we just fill up on Collective Brutalities after that. And I think Collective Brutality is probably better than Fatal Push. So this is the trouble with these kind of targeted sideboards. Dredge was the only deck I could think of where you really wanted graveyard hate. And even so, I've found that with Dredge, if you haven't got, you know, powerful spells like Leyline of the Void, if you haven't got that sort of thing, like Nihil Spellbomb can get you there, but it can also be just not flat out not enough. So this hand is interesting. It's got a Tarmogoyf in. I think 4 lands is probably a bit much, and Fulminator Mage is very low impact, so I think we're going to mulligan this. Yeah, we're going to keep this. This is a straight up keep my one sideboard hate card. We'll get rid of a lightning bolt and then hope for the best. My opponent has mulliganed to 5 cards, so we do need to find a land. Well, yeah, we'll need to find a land for Ashiok. Opponent plays Arid Mesa. Okay, so if we can catch them... Okay, so there's a land, which is good. So we'll play this, and we'll Thoughtseize. Now we're hoping that they've just kept a Cathartic Reunion heavy hand. This could be Haggle. Haggle is instant speed. I don't think Dredge plays Veil of Summer. Yep, there's the Cathartic Reunion. So they've got a Lightning Axe for our Tarmogoyf, but that's okay. I mean, the only spell we really care about now is this Ashiok resolving. Although, Blood Crypt. To be fair, I may not play Ashiok this turn. Tarmogoyf. There's no point in playing Tarmogoyf and just letting my opponent discard a card. So I think what we're going to do is just Collective Brutality, I think. Going to get swamped with this, and then we could drain my opponent. Getting rid of a land, but if we draw a Bloodbraid Elf, I think I'm going to. And we'll get rid of this Overgrown Tomb. You know, I can just see this going south at some point. My opponent like finding stuff to refuel, and then it coming down to 2 life or something at the end, which would be really sad. So my opponent hasn't got anything in hand or in the graveyard. We could play the Goyf as a clock. I wonder if they're napping. Let's just so it doesn't look like they're auto-passing. A bit of a naughty check there, but just to see if we could slam the Ashiok and catch him napping on this Arid Mesa. We're going to do it anyway. Arid Mesa, we want them to fetch with this ideally. Okay, they don't. They are napping on it. Is it worth milling them? Not really. I think we'll just pass. Oh, opponent, I feel for you. This also has that text on it. Opponents can't search libraries. Yeah, opponent confused. Yeah, that's an annoying side of Ashiok. Okay, Croxer. Yeah, we're going to play that. So what we're going to do is go and grab a Blood Crypt here. Pay the 2. We'll cast Croxer. And then we'll mill with Ashiok to hit whatever they get in the graveyard. They probably put Prized Amalgam in. Worth noting that if they had something like if we didn't know their hand, this would be a bit risky because they could put in a Dredger and then it could be instant speed. What's it called? Merchant of the Veil. But we know that they've only got that in hand, so I'm going to mill myself and then exile my opponent's graveyard, milling myself in order to fuel Croxer. Okay. And it also fuels Tarmogoyf, obviously. Worth noting that we're... Okay, my opponent just concedes. Worth noting that we're not ticking down Ashiok there to save it from potential hardcast Conflagrate or... Yeah. Okay. Well, we got lucky there. We kept a very good hand. My opponent did keep a very dodgy hand. I think we played it fine. Weird that we won the game that we're not sideboarded at all for and lost the game that we're heavily sideboarded for, but I suppose that's the way sometimes. Good to get the win against Dredge, and we'll see you back here for round number 3. Welcome back for round number 3. We are on the play. We've mulliganed away a 4-lander with just a Inquisition and 2 Bloodbraid Elves. Didn't really seem like what we wanted to be doing. Not casting a spell until turn, Inquisitioning, but then not casting a spell for another 3 turns is not really what we want to be doing. We've kept this hoping we're against a creature deck, really. We've got a Lightning Bolt, a Fatal Push, so want to see an Unclaimed Territory or something on the other side of the table. Auntie's Hovel, what other creature decks are there these days? Okay. Yeah, that'll do. So we've got to decide if we want to cast Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push. I think this is going to be some sort of Eldrazi, the colourless, giving it away. They want to be able to cast colourless mana. So with that said, I think we want to be able to kill Thought-Knot Seer with a Fatal Push. So I could be wrong. Ban Eldrazi was a deck back in the day. Okay, so we find another Lightning Bolt anyway, so I'll play the Raging Ravine, aiming to get a Liliana online next turn. If my opponent plays only one creature, we'll save the discard spells, the removal spells, and just edict it away. Opponent could be stuck on lands. There's a Cavern of Souls, Eldrazi. Okay, it's core. So core tribal? Okay, so it's just that's that Stoneforge. So let's see what my opponent goes and gets. Probably Batterskull. Yeah, core tribal is obviously not a thing. That's just that they just wanted to cast Stoneforge Mystic with this land. Oh, they could have cast it with this one. Okay, so here, yeah, we're just going to take the tempo play. Most Impulse is a good pickup. I mean, we like all the cards in our hand as well, so we don't really want to discard any of them. Edict my opponent. Get rid of the Stoneforge Mystic. So we just want to keep the board clear now. Opponent's got 5 cards in hand, one of which is a Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, there's no Eldrazi Temple. Feeling pretty smart with myself. Okay, so if this is a Thought-Knot Seer, we're in a little bit of trouble. Could be a Displacer. Okay, it is Displacer. We need to kill this card on sight. This card is really good. It stops removal on other creatures. It can blink your Tarmogoyfs to stop them attacking. Okay, that's a nice draw. I do like the cards in my hand. I think we'll bolt this. What are we discarding? It's very tempting to discard the Wooded Foothills. Although that does enable Fatal Push, but then we've got Maelstrom Pulse. We could discard the Maelstrom Pulse. Yeah, I think we're going to discard the Maelstrom Pulse here. So we'll tick up. Get rid of the Maelstrom Pulse. Reasoning here is, although Reality Smasher can't be killed by a Fatal Push. My reasoning here is that if they go next turn Thought-Knot Seer, no, I don't think that's right actually. I think we're going to get rid of the land, but then, and then we'll bolt this. So I'm afraid of Reality Smasher. I think I'm more afraid of Reality Smasher than Thought-Knot Seer. We know they don't have Thought-Knot Seer. But Reality Smasher would kill the Liliana, and then I'd have no way out. But Liliana can edict the Thought-Knot Seer. So yeah, I think we'll get rid of Fatal Push. Get rid of Fatal Push. Or is it right to get rid of this? Not sure. I think that's okay. And then I'm going to play my land and pass. So this, yeah, that was difficult. It might have been right to get rid of the land there, but if my opponent goes Reality Smasher, yeah, that kills Liliana, which is the problem. That was what I was afraid of. Liliana dying to Reality Smasher, and me having no way of killing the Reality Smasher. If my opponent goes Thought-Knot Seer now, though, I suppose we're still in trouble. But we do draw a card from Thought-Knot Seer when we edict it with Liliana, but Liliana does go. Okay. Opponent ditched a Path to Exile. Yeah, there's the Reality Smasher. But no land to cast it. So we'll fetch a Overgrown Tomb here. Worth remembering that we need a card to pitch in order to... oh, Thoughtseize. Yeah, I'm going to Thoughtseize them. See what they're working with. Okay, so we're just going to take Reality Smasher. And then... am I ticking up? Yeah, I think we're ticking up now. They can't cast a top deck Reality Smasher. Yeah, they can't cast a top deck Reality Smasher. And now Liliana's able to edict away a creature. Okay, here's a creature. Core spells. Oh, that's one of the best draws my opponent could have had. That's unfortunate. Now we are a little behind. We may as well get this opportunity to attack with a Raging Ravine, because my opponent has Path to Exile that they can't cast at this moment. Okay. Yeah, that's one of my opponent's best draws there. Okay, so play another land, attack for 2. So, depending on what we draw, we may attack with Raging Ravine again. No, Run and 6 is pretty good. Oh yeah, I was going to say we could buy it back, but Path to Exile will exile the Raging Ravine. Can't do much else, so we'll grab a Wooded Foothills and play it and say go. So we want to find now, Fatal Push is fine, Lightning Bolt, like any removal spells are okay, but ideally we want to find something a bit more high impact. Okay, opponent attacking Ren and 6, which is reasonable. So we'll... maybe this was a mistake to fetch, but we can always buy it back with Ren and 6. So now we've got to choose whether we ping the Hierarch. Thoughtseize isn't too bad, actually. So we go Thoughtseize you, and then we can attack with Raging Ravine. Take the Path to Exile. Fire up the Ravine. Ravine gets enormous. See if they want to block with their Hierarch. I probably should have pinged, actually, because they're probably just going to... oh, they don't chump. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ping now. This is going to die anyway. It's not really worth getting a land back. Like, the Raging Ravine is a 6 next turn, which is lethal. Another Hierarch. Sure. So that's a chump blocker. So opponent dead to a removal spell, or, well, 1 mana one anyway. So the question is, do I attack? I think I want to draw 2 here. Can't activate Raging Ravine anyway, so after this, even if I draw a land. Yeah, so we'll play Croxer. Pretty good. Okay, so here we're just going to hold the land. Make my opponent possibly play around the unknown. Opponent draws. Reality Smasher doesn't get the... Brilliant. Okay, so this is... Well, it's Ban Eldrazi with Stoneforge Mystic. So we're going to want Plague Engineer. Degalama deals with the artifacts, but I don't think that's good enough. Fatal Push. So historically, obviously Lightning Bolt, not amazing against Eldrazi, but here it kills Eldrazi Displacer, it kills Hierarchs. I think we're going to keep... yeah, I think we want all the removal spells. Trophy's great for killing bigger Eldrazi. Colligan's Command is great against Stoneforge Mystic. I don't want to take out too much here. Fulminator Mage is a consideration. They're probably running Veil of Summer. Inquisition... It got kind of grindy. Inquisition can take Displacer though. Let's take out 1 Inquisition. I like a lot of these cards. Liliana... No, Liliana's great. Maybe Plague Engineer's not as good as I think. Renin 6 is... I think we'll cut a Renin 6 on the draw. Because it's better for just killing. The only thing it kills really is Hierarch. And you only really want to be doing that turn 1. Yeah, let's go with something like that. That may be incorrect. I don't know if I'm valuing other cards too highly. Yeah, this hand is fine. Gonna need another land, obviously, but we've got turn 1 Inquisition. Hopefully turn 3 Liliana. Okay, that's a Hierarch. Let's see what we'd find. Okay, so we find a swamp, which is... That's good for our 3rd land. So Inquisition, we see a Tireless Tracker. Okay, so they've got a Rest in Peace, but I don't think we care about the Rest in Peace. We do care about Tireless Tracker, so yeah, I'll just take the Tracker. Rest in Peace against Jund is interesting. People bring it in, but I don't know, I feel like it's... What does it deal with? It deals with Tarmogoyf, 1 mode of Colligan's Command, Renin 6. But that's kind of it. But I might be wrong. Maybe it's really good, but I've never been... Oh, okay, so we instantly draw Tarmogoyf. But okay, so my opponent played the Eldrazi Temple. Annoyingly, they are going to have enough mana next turn to smasher us. So we'll play the Ravine. pass. We've got multiple ways of killing the Smasher. So next turn we're going to play Plague Engineer named Human. We are going to take 6 from this Smasher. You have to remember that you have to discard a card to kill Smasher, but not if you end up Lilianaing it or Death Touching it. Yeah, so he takes 6. Bob Braid's a nice pickup, but we've got the next few turns planned out, I think. So we're going to Plague Engineer to kill the Hierarch. So we'll name Human. And then pass, and then in theory this can trade unless they've got a path. Opponent got 2 cards in hand. This can trade here, or if they choose not to attack through this until they find a path, we just Liliana it away next turn. This also shutting off any future Noble Hierarchs. Could have named Core. What was the other core we saw? It was Stoneforge Mystic and Skyclave Apparition. Yeah, we're definitely blocking here. More than happy to block there. Okay. Play the land. Liliana Veil. It could be another Smasher, I suppose, but I would have thought they would have played it. So we're going to discard Tarmogoyf, not really doing us any favours. Opponent discards a land. And then next turn we get to Bloodbraid Elf. Could have a Skyclave Apparition in hand. Which should be... no, they would have Apparition the Plague Engineer. Okay, opponent has got a Stoneforge Mystic. And they're going to go and get... So here it really depends on what we draw. Obviously, Liliana Edict just stops them having any creatures. They're nearly at hardcast Batskull range. Depends what we draw. If we can find something that makes them discard. Oh, I suppose it stops Croxer as well. Okay, so yeah, that's really good, obviously, because we can just absolutely clear their hand of stuff. Okay, in fact, we just take the Batskull and Edict away that. Play this, and in the blind, we'll just name Eldrazi, I think. It allows us to trade. It allows us to bolt a. Okay, opponent plays a land we don't know about. Okay, we'll tick up. Might as well get rid of the mountain. I suppose we could play the mountain and start attacking with Raging Ravine, but I'll tick this up and then we can edict a future creature. Oh, I need green mana. There we go. Let's spin the wheels. We hit. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. This is the other thing that's shut off by Rest in Peace. Essentially, hit a bolt there. Oh, that's not too bad. We could stay back on the defensive. I suppose a Smasher isn't ideal, but we do have a trophy. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So we do find a land. We could tick up, ditch the trophy. Yeah, okay, fine. So that's fine, now we just win. Because we ditch the trophy, play the land, and attack for Xaxes. Okay, GG's. Yeah, an interesting green-white Eldrazi Stoneblade list, but managed to get there with Jund. Okay, another good win. So we'll see you back here for round number 4. Right, welcome back for round number 4. Interesting hand. I think we're going to keep it in the blind. We just need to draw a red land and we're pretty good. We're on the draw, so we got several turns to do it. We got a turn 1 Inquisition. That's not ideal. We have got trophy. Oh, Goif's a good draw as well. See what they're working with over there. Okay, so it's Eldrazi-tron. We're going to take Matter Reshaper. That card's just really annoying. It blocks. It threatens Planeswalkers. Like they could have cast it this turn as well. So annoyingly, Goif does get dismembered. Is it worth trophying instead? Yeah, Goif's going to get out of range of Dismember at some point. We'll see what they go and get. If they go and get... Oh, they do have a Thought-Knot Seer, though. Okay, so they're going to get the Mine. So they're planning on playing Thought-Knot Seer this turn. Oh, so I could... now, I could hit the Temple and they can't play anything. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we'll let them draw, because they may draw a basic. Let's just hit this Temple. This could be wrong, but now my opponent can't play Thought-Knot Seer this turn. Now we really need to hit a land. My Goif is now a 5/6. Okay, Fatal Push isn't amazing. But 5/6, so this blocks Reality Smasher. Gets past Dismember. Okay, so here comes the Thought-Knot Seer. We've got 2 ways of potentially killing that as soon as we find a land. I would imagine they take the Liliana here, because that deals with Reality Smasher at parity as well. These Seasoned Pyromancers are a long way from being cast. Yeah, it takes Liliana. So a fetch land is what we really want here. We hit another Inquisition, which isn't really what we want. We could, yeah, let's Inquisition anyway and get rid of the Dismember. Okay, another Thought-Knot Seer is annoying. Ah, and a Karn. Okay, so if they draw a land, no, they're going for the Karn. Oh no, it's another Thought-Knot Seer. That's reasonable, yeah. Yeah, it takes Fatal Push, and now we need to draw lands. Well, that's a good one, but so if I attack again, put my opponent's 10, is that better than sitting back and blocking? Actually, I think I'm going to sit back and block here. Knowing that we haven't hit a land, but like Liliana, if we can draw a land now, is a good draw. Opponent probably waiting for Karn to get some money. There's the Temple. There's Karn. Probably getting some sort of graveyard hate. Tormod's Crypt. Perhaps. Yeah, is rather annoying. So if they pop the Tormod's Crypt and exile their own graveyard, Goyf will be 1, he'll only be a 2. So I think we just take 8, I think we have to take 8 here. Well, at least we can kill the Khan on the backswing. We're not in great shape here. Well, yeah, not finding a land there is pretty rough. Haven't found a land in many turns now. Yeah, I'm not sure there's much we can do now. So we attack the Khan for 5, die to the... Okay, I think we have to... yeah, so we'll Thought Seize the Smasher. Spatial's probably enough to just kill me. Yeah. Because they can... combination of Tormod's Crypt and Spatial will kill the Goy if they're attacking for lethal. Either that, or they can attack with both. Whichever one I block, they give the other one +3/-3 for lethal. So, yeah, that was unfortunate we didn't ever find our land. Maybe it wasn't a keep. But, hey-ho. That's how it goes sometimes. So we're going to take out Eldrazi Tron. I like taking out the Inquisitions, they don't really hit enough. Fatal Push kills Thought Not Seer. Lightning Bolt doesn't really do much apart from kill Khan, so we'll cut those possibly. Run 6 doesn't do anything either. So we're going to want Fulminator Mages and Plague Engineers. Plague Engineer shrinks their stuff, and obviously Death Touch trades well with big Eldrazi. And then I'd consider Deglamour, so they're running Khan, the Great Creator, likely Wormcoil Engine as well. So I think, yeah, a couple of those is probably fine. Would I like the other ones instead of Lightning Bolts? Lightning Bolt kills Khan and goes to face. I think we'll let's split the difference and go for 3/3. I think that's fine. Deglamour is a good out to Wormcoil Engine if they're playing it. One lander. Have to mulligan that. This isn't ideal, but I don't really want to mulligan again. I think we'll keep bottom a fetch land. And then we're just going to try and crox her into Season Pyromancer. So let's play this tapped. Not playing a fetch land there because we know that there's a land on the bottom of the deck. It's marginal, but all these things add up. That's interesting. I think that's higher value than... yeah, because this if they're on a natural Tron draw, I would definitely be decaying this. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's better than having them discard a random card, and then Season Pyromancer discarding 2 Croxes is probably fine. Yeah, okay, so they had natural Tron. Well, not natural Tron, but they had Tron with the Expedition map there. Could hold up Fatal Push here for a turn 4 Thought Not Seer, but I think it's better. We're going to Season Pyromancer, try and hit our next lands. We'll pitch both of these Croxers. And we hit some good stuff on the... we draw some good stuff, so... if my opponent hits Thought Not Seer, we can potentially push it or play Bloodbraid Elf. Oh, my opponent had Natural Tron anyway. That's frustrating. That's a Thought Not Seer. Okay, that's not terrible. See what they take. Probably Bloodbraid Elf. Yeah. There's a map. Okay, so what do we find? We find a fetch land, which is pretty good actually. Fuels Croxer. Gonna draw us a card here. It's gonna get basic swamp. We get to draw. Another fatal push isn't too bad. We'll smash in for 4. Got to get the clock going. And next turn we can play Croxer, which is bigger than the Eldrazi they play. We're just hoping to fade Planeswalkers now, really, or like something nutty here. Probably gets blast. Oh, Scavenger Grounds. That is confirmed annoying. I forget they run this. Yeah, this is going to exile our Croxers. So now we need to find something pretty good. Opponent got 4 cards in hand. One of them's a little Scavenger Grounds. Got a card that they can get with Mind Stone. Okay, killing that is annoying because now they can exile that and I don't get the tokens either. But opponent is left with not very much in hand. Maybe I should have held on to a Croxer, but I think that our play was fine. We didn't know at that point that they had natural Tron. Wouldn't mind them playing a Thought-Knot Seer here. Because then we can just fatal push it. I suppose they... Oh, Khan's annoying though. What are they getting? We can attack Khan with the Sundering Titan. That's not good. Oh, Thoughtseize is good though. That's what we wanted to find. So we're going to attack Khan for 2, so they can't search again. And then we'll Thoughtseize, probably taking the Sundering Titan. Yep. And then we'll play a land. Say go. So opponent got... Is this going to be a Walking Ballista? Looks like it. Okay, so we're just going to Fatal Push that. Is there anything that we'd want mana for that means I shouldn't just do this in my turn after attacks? I think we're just going to do this. Yeah, we might draw a Seasoned Pyromancer and then we'd want loads of mana. Yeah, so we need to... Bloodbraid Elf is our, as often the case, our best draw. I would take a Seasoned Pyromancer. I'd take a Bolt. Liliana's not the worst. So we can get the last card out of my opponent's hand. All is dust. That's a nice one to get rid. Opponent does still have Khan, which is not great. Wouldn't be surprised to see just cashing in Khan for a Worm Coil here. Yeah. What are they going to get? Oh, Drazitron, not the worst matchup for Jund. Certainly not as bad as normal sort of mono green Tron. But, I mean, you run into trouble when they do get this natural Tron. See what my opponent get. I'm expecting a Worm Coil Engine. Yep. Okay, so Worm Coil is obviously annoying. One of Jund's worst nightmares. We've got D-Glamour that we can draw to. Okay, sacking Mind Stone to draw a card, and there's Wormcoil Engine. So yeah, we want to draw Deglamour really. That is also acceptable, so that protects Liliana potentially. Okay. I think we're just going to make... I don't really want to get rid of anything in my hand. So I think we just make them sacrifice a creature. Break the Wormcoil down into more manageable chunks. I would imagine they kill Liliana here. Yeah, killing Liliana. So we can Bloodbraid now, which is good. Do we Bloodbraid or do... Yeah, it's definitely Bloodbraid. I'll play my land in case we... I don't think we can hit another Seasoned Pyromancer. Lots of good hits here. Deglamour... Yeah, that's not too bad. We'll get rid of the Death Touch one. And then I think my opponent could kill this with... I think we're getting in for damage. Yeah, I don't think we'd necessarily block next turn. And if my opponent wants, they can probably put enough counters on Blast Zone. Just putting one counter on. See what my opponent's drawn. Attack with the worm token. Okay, they've just drawn a land. We draw a bolt, which is interesting. So, what do we do here? I think we'll attack. Then we'll play Liliana. And we tick down to get rid of the worm. It would be nice to tick up, go for the kind of ultimate. But I suppose I probably should... Well, yeah, they've got the Blast Zone to kill Liliana anyway, so we might as well cash her in for some value. Thought Not Seer. Okay, so we'll just bolt my opponent. And we've got Seasoned Pyromancer in the bin. Yeah, Kolaghan's Command is obviously a good draw. In fact, that getting back Seasoned Pyromancer is what we want to do here. So, question is, do I attack? I could attack, and then I doubt my opponent blocks, but it's worth a go. They know we've drawn Bolt, I'd imagine. So we could hold it. Oh no, because then we can tick up Liliana. Trouble is they're going to Blast Zone my Liliana away, which will also take Pyromancer with it. So I think we're going to go. I think we're going to go for this. So, although this dealing 2 damage isn't really that amazing. I think we're going to wait. I think we're going to wait. Probably shouldn't have attacked there, maybe that was greedy. We can't tick up, really. I really don't fancy Colligan's commanding. I mean, it would draw 2. No, I think we're going to wait here. And we'll do it in draw step. So, return target creature card from a graveyard to your hand. And have my opponent discard a card. So they discard Expedition Map. Okay, so not the most amazing. Opponent probably should have just attack us. Yeah. Goes for it. Okay, Plague Engineer. Not really what we want, because again, this Blast Zone's really hurting us. So I think we're going to Season Pyromancer this away, make a token with it. And then we find 2 lands, which isn't the best, so we'll tick up. Get rid of this. And then we're going to hold on to a Bloodstained Mire in case we draw. Are we attacking? Yeah, I think so. So the other option is staying back to block. So we could block the Thought-Knot Seer with Bloodbraid Elf and the Elemental. But I think we want to get damage in. We're hoping to fade. I mean, we need to fade a lot of my opponent's deck. Any other Planeswalkers, Reality Smasher, that. Yeah, so we're in trouble now. We're at 1 life. Oh, trophy's not too bad. We can't trophy and make the tokens, unfortunately, but I think we're going to... We'll trophy this first. Draws us a card. Bloodbraid would be nice. Oh, Goif's pretty good as well. It is a 7/8. That's lethal attacker next turn. So now we just need to fade 1 draw. It's a spell. Reality Smasher will be in chump block mode, which is something you don't hear every day. Deglamor, not a bad draw. Attack for 7. Why is it so... Oh, tribal from All Is Dust. Okay, so needs to not be another smasher. Oh, we get there. That was a knife edge. Opponent had Tron all game. Just didn't. We ground through some stuff there. We ground through a Worm Coil Engine and All Is Dust. Reality Smasher, a Khan. Yeah, I mean we had some fortunate draws. Drawing the Thoughtseize the turn they went and got Sundering Titan was good, but yeah, we'll definitely take the ones we can get. So Deglamor there was interesting. Do you want the 4th copy over these? No, I think that's fine. See how we get on. Okay, so this is quite a reactive hand. It's got a trophy. It's got a lot of like good removal. I think we'll... my opponent has mulliganed. What are we after that's better? Like a turn 2 threat, I suppose. I think we'll keep this. This is more of a mid-range match than sort of pure Tron. So they've mulliganed. They find a relic. Okay. Liliana's a nice pickup. Okay, so double power plant is fine with me. So we'll go and get blood crypt. Haven't seen much of Jazzytron for a while, but I don't think it did very well in the kind of Euro meta. A Fulminator is a nice draw. We're not going to want to play that until they find a different Tron land. That's a waste. So I think now we're going to play the Liliana. Let's go and get. We haven't got. Yeah, I think it's just going to be. We've got enough green, really, but. So, I've got enough. It does take 2 damage by accident. Yeah, oh well. So let's play Liliana. Tick up and get rid of Croxer, which, well, yeah, getting rid of Croxer is fine. And pass the turn. See how we get on. Okay, so we've got the Fulminator. Maybe Fulminator was a consideration there. Matter Reshaper. Okay. So I think now we'll tick up. I'm going to get rid of the trophy. See what my opponent ditches. They get rid of a Calm. So we either play Fulminator Mage or we. This is the trouble with Matter Reshaper. It's I don't really want to kill it at this point. Actually, I think Fulminator Mage here. Kill a land. Fulminator Mage kill a land. And then we can buy it back with Colligan's Command, but that's quite slow. They must have something really good in hand. What do we do here? I think I'm actually going to Fulminator Mage. Take them off lands. I think we do this right now. And then Lily does take a hit from this Reshaper. Maybe that was wrong. That was a tricky one. Oh yeah, we can't really call against command with the relic in play. Blast Zone. Okay. That's a good draw. So now we tick. We could tick down, kill this. No, that's not right. Oh no, it's Colligan's Command, kill this, you discard, and then tick up the Lily. Target player discards a card, deal 2 damage, and then we can get all of the cards out of my opponent's hand. Okay, so they're drawing a card. What's being revealed? Okay, a Tron land. We'll tick up, get rid of. We can't cast a Season Pyromancer.
that's the choice. Okay, we get a smasher out of their hand. Okay, so it's top deck war again. Let's see how we go. Opponent has got a blast zone to deal with Liliana. Okay, so I kind of want to play that, but also kind of don't, I suppose. Oh, there's no point in playing Plague Engineer at the moment. Because it again, it would just die to blast zone. So my opponent will now put a counter on blast zone. Feel like it might be correct to just wait. Although we do need to threaten the ultimate. I think we're just going to wait, hold my cards. Yeah. Okay. Opponent finds Khan. Goes and gets... See what they get. We've got the D-Glamour, which is nice. So we can D-Glamour whatever they get if they play it. Or we can just pulse the Khan. They're not searching yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, no, they've got 5 lands. So if it's something that they play this turn, we'll de-glamour it. If it's a worm coil engine, we'll just pulse the Khan and then de-glamour the worm. If it's something really bad, then don't know what to do. Relic of Progenitus. I don't think I care about that. I could, yeah, no, I think we're going to save this de-glamour for a future worm coil engine. But we're going to want to pulse the Khan before they can get anything more. Okay, that's not bad, because now we can hold up de-glamour as well. Yeah, so pulse Khan before we can go and get anything else. And we'll get rid of Blackleaf Cliffs, I suppose. We do need to draw some sort of pressure. Tarmogoyf. Not really Bloodstained Mire, but... So we'll choose Eldrazi here. Hold on to this land. Opponent plays another land, so they must have some expensive stuff in hand. So we'll play this now. Start attacking on turn 10. Not really where we want to be against Tron. They might have Khan liberated in hand. Matter Shape is annoying, as always, because it stops our engineer attacking now. Bolts, fine. I think we need to keep the damage going. Expedition map. That's annoying. Now they'll have Tron. But they would have had that next turn, I suppose. But they would have to play it and crack it. But they've still got ample mana. I'm surprised they didn't crack it at the end step there. Very surprised. What? Maybe my opponent's just got land. That's what we wanted to see. Yep, we'll cast a Fulminator Mage, which I'm not sure we're going to crack yet. I've got spatial. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I suppose my opponent could have Ugin. No, they would have just played it. Pithing Needle. So I want to fetch just in case they name this. Go and get a mountain. And then, yeah, we'll destroy a land, I think. I think that's worth it there. Although we can shuffle this in with the Glamour. What will we see? Probably Liliana of the Veil? Yeah, Liliana. Not going entirely to plan here. I don't know, my opponent can't have too much in hand. They're not cracking this map. I guess they're on the prowl for... They're just afraid of Fulminators. So we need to draw another Bloodbraid Elf or something, really. There's another Fulminator Mage. I have no idea what my opponent has in hand. Two, four, five, six, seven. I think we're just using this as a beta at the moment. Okay, so they're going to get a land. They've got enough mana that there's no point in Fulminatoring. I get the tower. I guess we destroy it? No, if they're playing a map anyway, this is fine. Yeah, Fulminator doesn't really do much now. Oh, we need to stop drawing lands though. So what my opponent gets, probably another tower. Yeah, another tower. So there's no point in cracking this Fulminator. They've got all the mana in the world to play with. There's a Khan. Not too worried about things like Sundering Titan. So it has to be an artifact, so if you have Deglamour, could be... Ballista would be annoying. It's probably Ballista. Yeah, this is definitely going to be Walking Ballista. Yeah. 7/7 Ballista. Okay. So that's not great. So now we want... I mean, Bloodbraid into Bolt is okay. Oh, we we need to stop drawing lands. I think we... although... yeah, we'll attack Khan. I think we have to. Let's get rid of a tower, I suppose, unless we've got rid of any already. No, haven't got any Tron lands already. Okay, so we have to shuffle this in, frustratingly. Yeah, I think this one's coming out of our reach now. Frustratingly, we've drawn a lot of lands. We needed any big heavy hitter, really. A Goyf, Bloodbraid Elves, Goyf, Bloodbraid Elf, yeah, any of that stuff. Now our opponent probably goes and gets Wormcoil Engine, and we're probably done for. They might get Sundering Titan, which kills 3 lands at a time. Yeah, there's Sundering Titan. So we can still do this, I suppose. Bolt is the way. Is this a Wormcoil as well? Eight mana. There's a Walking Ballista. Another one. Yeah. Just we're really struggling to keep up with my opponent. Yeah, annoying Lost Cell Jazzytron just squeaked the winning of game 2. I thought we'd have a chance in this one where they led on double power plant. But we just didn't quite have enough pressure. And then right at the end where we needed to be attacking, we drew 4, 5, 6 lands in a row. So yeah, can't be helped. Be interesting to know what I should have done in that early turn with the full Manic Mage and things, but might revisit that at some point. But see you back here for round number 5, going for the 3 and 2. Okay, welcome back for round number 5. We'll be on the play here. I think we're going to keep this in the blind. Be nice to Thoughtseize turn 1 and see a creature deck with these 2 bolts in hand. I think we're going to fetch Shock. We're going to take a lot of pain from our lands here, but we're going to get a Blood Crypt in case we want to bolt instead on turn 1, and we can play on turn 2, and we can play the Overgrown Tomb tapped. But we will Thoughtseize, and we hope we don't see Burn. Okay, it's not Burn, it's blue, it's Jeskai. Jeskai something. Jeskai Control, but Thoughtscour, Helix. I've got a lot of Burn in hand. I think we'll take the Is It Charm, it's just the most sort of versatile spell. Okay. So Jeskai, we have to be a bit careful of our life total, but we're going to jam Croxer. Opponent opting, seeing what they want to discard to Croxer. See what we get out of their hand. Want to hit a land next turn, really. Ideally Blackleaf Cliffs or something. It doesn't mean we take loads of damage. Gets rid of a Scalding Tarn, so probably drew enough lands. We know they've got a Foundry in hand. Thoughtscour. Would have been nice to Thoughtscour me, but they've seen Croxer, so... Okay, Sacred Foundry. So they're holding up Bolt.
Okay, Bloodstained Mire is good. So the question is, do we season Pyromancer now? I think the answer is yes. We're going to grab a mountain. Just a bit wary of my life total with my opponent having Bolt and Helix in hand. We're going to play Season Pyromancer, get rid of these two lightning bolts, I think. I think Colligan's Command is better keep. Okay, so we wheel into some good stuff. Next turn, if we draw a land, we can play Croxer. Okay, bolting Season Pyromancer. Because now Colligan's Command getting back Season Pyromancer is obviously great. Manamorpha. Right, okay, I know what this deck is now. I think it's could be Jeskai Ascendancy. No, yeah, or I think it's going to be Pyromancer's Ascension. The enchantment that means when you cast a card from your graveyard, it puts counters on it. So we're going to want to keep hold of this Maelstrom Pulse. Should my opponent play a Pyromancer's Ascension. They found a land. Okay. So Inquisition not too bad. Would have liked to have drawn a land there. I think we're going to Lily. Just want to start getting cards out of my opponent's hand. We're going to tick up and discard an Inquisition. Maybe the correct discard was Colligan's Command, but we definitely want to keep this Maelstrom Pulse because I'm wary of some sort of enchantment that's gonna. If generally with Jund, if your opponent lands and Pyromancer's Ascension and starts going off, you've pretty much lost. Okay, it's actually Underworld Breach. Beginning of the end step, sacrifice Underworld Breach. So I've got 3 cards in hand. Each non-land card has escape. Okay, so they're cashing in Underworld Breach. Maybe they're looking for lands. They discarded a land to Liliana though. A little bit surprised at this. You would have thought they'd want to play Underworld Breach the turn they go off. Maybe they can go off, maybe I'm... So things that this combos with Mishra's Bauble, and then it could be... is it Grinding Station? Okay, so here we're just going to try and get as many cards out of my opponent's hand as we can. So we'll tick up with Liliana. We'll discard my second Lily. And then we're going to... do we deal them to... No, I think we're going to return target creature card and have them discard a card. We'll get back... is it Croc? So we can... I think we'll get back Season Pyromancer. Doing this just because I think this deck is likely to be a kind of critical mass type deck where they want loads of spells in hand. So making them discard as much as possible. They've only got a Lightning Helix left now. Okay, so we find a Bloodbraid Elf. Not exactly what we want to find. So we'll attack here. Tick up with Liliana. We'll get rid of this Bloodbraid Elf. If we draw another land, we're going to be Croxering anyway. Opponent gets rid of... What does the opponent ditch? They ditch the Lightning Helix. So I think now we're going to Season Pyromancer. I think given that they haven't got many cards in hand, and if they're on the Underworld Breach, okay, my opponent just concedes. So there, I think I was going to do Season Pyromancer, draw 2 cards, try and hit my land for Croxer the following turn. If they're on Underworld Breach, Maelstrom Pulse at sorcery speed isn't, it's not the best. And then, find land for Croxer the following turn, and make an ultimate Liliana next turn. Okay, so they were on Underworld Breach. So the combo was always something like Grinding Station, allowing you to mill your opponent out, I believe. Yeah, it's Grinding Station and Mishra's Bauble, I think, that allows you to either mill your opponent or you mill your entire deck and win with Thassa's Oracle. But I think that'll probably be the plan. So I don't think we don't want any fatal push. Renan 6 is interesting if it goes into the kind of more control-y type match like we found. I think Ashiok could be good. Oh, D-Glamour. Yeah, we definitely want all of the D-Glamours. So I think we'll change out our Maelstrom Pulse for that. We want all of the discard. Lightning Bolt, we didn't see any Planeswalkers. I think we'll get rid of all of that potentially. I think we'll keep in Renan 6, want all that stuff. Consideration for Fulminator Mage and Collective Brutality. They were running a lot of spells. I think Fulminator Mage is going to be a fairly low impact. Collective Brutality is just a bad duress, though, not really doing much else. Maybe Maelstrom Pulse is good. No, I think we'll bring in a couple of Collective Brutalities. They were running so many spells. See how we get on. Okay, so I think this is okay. I'd like a turn 1 play really, but we've got a Tarmogoyf, which probably gets quite large. Risk is that they've got a Bolt which would kill a Tarmogoyf. Unless they Serum Visions here, which it looks like they are. So yeah, Goyf's now safe from Lightning Bolt. Which is obviously good. They go 2 cards on top, which is a bit scary. Might as well play the Catacombs, save some damage, go and get a Shockland. Don't think we have to be worried about Blood Moon against Jeskai. Be surprised. They are running some basics. Should I hedge against Blood Moon and get a swamp? We've got a forest, which is what we want with these Bloodbraid Elves, I suppose, so I might want to go and get a Blood Crypt. Well, there's Ashiok, which is pretty nice. So we'll just play an Overgrown Tomb and play Tarmogoyf here. Might get mana leaked or remanded or... No? Just resolves as a 2-3. I feel like Ashiok may be nice. Sleight of hand. Yeah, so if we get the opportunity this turn, we're definitely going to slam the Ashiok. Probably should have done that first in case it gets countered. And then it would have grown the Goyf by a couple. Yeah, that was poor sequencing. We're going to go for the Ashiok here. They didn't counter my Tarmogoyf, but it could be Izzet Charm to counter this. Ashiok just resolved, so I'm going to tick down on myself.
Let's see what. So this grows the Goyf. Yeah, we missed a couple of points of damage there. It's usually best to attack first before playing spells. Don't know there, we could have got in a bit more damage, but yeah, notably milling ourselves there to potentially hit Croxer and obviously fuel future Croxers. So now we're just going to start slamming Bloodbraid Elves. There is an argument for playing Tarmogoyf holding up D-Glamour. We will certainly cast the Liliana of the Veil we cascade into. They could bolt it now. Wouldn't be surprised to see Bolt or Helix on Liliana. But that's fine. I mean, it's essentially had my opponent discard a card without us having to discard. Path? Okay, pathing the Goyf. So we'll go and get a land that enables us to cast Croxer. Let's go and get a swamp. And do we want to mill with Ashiok? That's the question, because it would get rid of these cards, but then it also puts Ashiok in bolt range, and they might be holding loads of fetch lands. Loads of fetch lands that they can't use at the moment. So I think we're just going to hold Ashiok here. It's just a lightning bolt and a path to exile in my opponent's hand. Thought Scour targeting my opponent, so we will be milling with Ashiok. Just worth noting that a little trick with Ashiok, you can it can be Veil of Summered, which is frustrating. So if you really need to get rid of your opponent's graveyard, you exile your own. It doesn't target your opponent. So here, do we want to slam Bloodbraid Elf, or do I want to? I think next turn we can Bloodbraid Elf and hold up D-Glamour. So I think this turn we're just going to smash in with a Bloodbraid Elf. I'm just afraid of like some instant speed enchantment. I'll mill myself again. And then we'll play a Tarmogoyf. We can hold up Colligan's Command this way as well. And then this way it's actually lethal next turn. Still not entirely sure what my opponent is doing. We haven't seen any Planeswalkers. We saw Underworld Breach, but we don't know how they're using that. I'm quite intrigued. Okay, so bolting Ashiok, which is fair. So I think end of turn we're going to Colligan's Command. We could return. Oh, we've got a Bloodbraid Elf in there. I think we just want to deal them 2 damage. So target player discards a card, deal you 2 damage. Get rid of a mountain. So take lethal now, 5, 8. Another D-Glamour. They may have a bolt for the Bloodbraid Elf. We may as well cast another Bloodbraid Elf. D-Glamour deals with Blood Moon as well. I'm really liking this card. We'll cast an extra Goyf. They could have Snapcaster, I suppose. Path the Goyf. Yes, we'll use the ability. Go and get a mountain. Opponent takes 6, so they can't now fetch with Flooded Strand. Thought Scour. They hit some more cantrips. And they concede. Not really sure what my opponent had going on there. But nice to
nice to get the win and complete the 3-2 for the league. So yeah, we're happy with that. Let's just have a quick review of the deck. I think I was pretty happy with the main. I think that was fine. I think the sideboard was possibly a little too focused on the burn matchups, but for the bigger tournaments, you know, I don't know, I expect to see a lot more of the kind of top decks, the prowess, the that sort of thing. So I think Weather the Storm comes out, I think that's going to be low impact. I think I'd just rather have the Collective Brutalities, because this is only good against burn and prowess. And prowess can fight through that with their creatures. Fulminator, again, possibly look to cut a couple of those. I don't know, maybe Cleansing Wildfire instead would be better. Can't be Veil of Summered. Yeah, I think we're going to look to switch that up. Really impressed with Deglamour. I think I'm going to keep at least 3, maybe keep the playset. The lack of graveyard hate was a little bit frustrating, but you know, we did play against Dredge, we did win. My opponent got fairly unlucky, if I remember. But I just feel like you don't want graveyard hate in that many matchups at the moment. So yeah, I think the deck felt good. I think just a few minor changes to the sideboard, and then yeah, see. So there you go. But yeah, that was the league with Jund. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know in the comments if there's anything you enjoyed. Anything that could be done better. Always happy to hear from you. Any suggestions always welcome. Any links to interesting Jund decks again also always welcome. So yeah, hope to see you again. Cheers.